Windy weather will stick around for the rest of the afternoon, but we'll at least have a little more sunshine to enjoy as we close your Monday. Overnight low temperatures tonight falling into the upper 30s and low to mid 40s rather, under partly to mostly clear skies. But we'll have a mix of sun and clouds for your day on Tuesday. Another windy day and a cooler day as well. We have 50s and low 60s for highs. And we keep an eye on the second half of the week. More on that coming up, but until then, First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, first at 4.
A new type of scam could leave your bank account empty. How to protect your money coming up.
Plus, warm spring days might have you ready to hit the lake. What you should know about cold water safety just ahead.
And we're going to take a look at the push for more funding for EMS in Minnesota. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. DNA evidence helped Pierre police arrest a rape suspect.
28-year-old Reese Cloud is accused of raping a woman while she slept in February. Late last week, authorities received DNA results from the crime lab and made the arrest. Cloud was in court this afternoon and is being held on $10,000 cash-only bond.
Americans lost billions of dollars to imposter scams last year. The caller could be claiming to be with your bank.
They are very savvy and they have an answer for everything.
Coming up on KELOLAND News at 5, we'll tell you what to do to protect your money from scammers.
Well, it's not a bad day out there.
Started out cold though.
Yeah, but it's warmed up some, Adam.
Yeah, actually rebounded quite nicely through the afternoon, near and above average temperatures in many locations. The sunshine was certainly a nice little bonus, but we maybe could have done without the wind today. We got a break yesterday, and that was really just about it. We'll start in Aberdeen this time around. There's the football field at Northern State. 70, but a rather windy 70 due to that northwesterly wind at 23 miles per hour, and that's a sustained wind, not necessarily a gust. Meanwhile, in downtown, 68 at the airport, a comparatively calmer breeze at 8 miles per hour out of the west, but we're still going to be keeping an eye on the anemometer, especially as we go into the middle of the week and the later part of the week for that matter as well. We are going to be seeing a lot of wind. And there you go. We actually have our latest update, and we went from 68 up to 71 now with the west wind at 13 miles per hour. We had cloud cover for a better part of the morning East River, especially with the cold front slowly moving on through. And now beyond some fair weather broken cloud cover off on the backside of that boundary, we're going to be doing pretty well as we head through the rest of the evening and into the night for that matter. We are now over the 70-degree mark, as I said, in Sioux Falls, Huron at 71, Mitchell 72, 71 in Spencer, 66 though in Pierce, 64 Rapid City, and 57 towards Spearfish. There are still some wind advisories in place for a little while longer, at least up in north central and northwestern South Dakota through 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain Time this evening. Still could see gusts approaching and exceeding 50 miles per hour at times. And I'll tell you this right now, it's not going to be the last time we talk about the wind either. That is just simply not going anywhere anytime soon. Case in point, here's tomorrow. Another windy day on our hands, a cooler one as well, either side of 60 in southeastern KELOLAND under a mix of sun and clouds. To the northeast, a little bit cooler, 50s to around 60, but again, still windy up there as we continue to see that breeze not let up anytime soon. For your day tomorrow out west, a lot of sunshine, but a lot of wind with a little bit of everything. Some 50s up to the north and west, 60s the farther south you go. As we head later into the week, yes, we do warm up, but we also have some active weather we need to keep an eye on. Updates on that and the rest of your forecast as we head through the hour.
Okay, thanks, Adam. Minnesota ambulance claim that they need a lifeline from lawmakers this session. They're asking for $120 million. But as Caroline Cummings reports, the price tag could fall short.
EMS has been sounding the alarm about a crisis of its own. Providers say reimbursement rates for services are far too low, and recruitment and retention of workers are also big problems.
So this is not just a cry for help. For many services, it very well could be the last gasp of air before we say, you know what, we can't do it anymore.
Josh Fisher, the director of the Stevens County Ambulance Service, says his organization alone provides $300,000 worth of uncompensated care a year, meaning about 1 out of every 5 calls they go on, they don't get paid for. Add that up with other budget gaps for other providers, and that's why EMS is asking for $120 million in emergency aid to get them through in the near term.
You're hearing from EMS across the state calling 911 to the legislature, saying we need help.
Minnesota House Republicans on Tuesday called on Democrats in charge at the state capitol to pass a bipartisan bill with that funding. But DFL leaders and Governor Tim Walz, in a supplemental spending agreement, only earmarked $16 million, a fraction of what providers say they need. Walz last month said it represents a stopgap. Lawmakers will craft the next 2-year budget next session.
It is smaller not because we don't agree that the issue is of that magnitude. We think this does what it needs to do in the short run to get us to the point where we can talk about longer-term funding and solutions.
Literally, lives are hanging on the balance because of this deficit.
Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
Governor Tim Walz has named 2 women to the Minnesota Supreme Court. It's going to give the state's highest court its first female majority in 3 decades. When they take their seats in the coming months, all 7 justices will have been appointed by Democratic governors.
Pregnant employees have the right to a wide range of accommodations under new federal regulations. The rules were published today. The changes include abortion, fertility treatment, and birth control as medical issues requiring job protections. The new rules also offer extensive guidelines for addressing more routine difficulties in pregnancy, such as morning sickness, back pain, and needing to avoid heavy lifting. You can get a closer look at the changes right now on KELOLAND.com.